Welcome to Toxic Waste of Time. This week we're talking about our relationship with technology. And this is pretty broad, including basically everything we consider technology, not just phones or the internet.
We're going to spin the wheel of weird relationships.
Katie, spin that wheel.
Okay, Ivy, what is your relationship to karaoke?
I don't really have one. I did it once.
You don't know her.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Last week you asked me my relationship to alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
When I said I only did it once, I forgot about the drunken night at John's house. We were all there, and apparently they had a karaoke machine. And John and I somehow wound up in the living room by ourselves, screaming loudly into the microphones. And there's a fabulous picture of my husband standing with his hands on his hips, staring at us as if he wanted to punch us both. And so we had to put our tails between our legs and hang our heads and walk away.
Would you say you have a toxic relationship with karaoke because you forgot about that one time? Is it a waste of your time?
No, it was fun. I love to play Rock Band, which is a form of karaoke. I am the singer. So I think I have a great relationship with karaoke. And like I always say, when we play Rock Band, I'm fly like a G6.
Okay.
My kids used to come out of their rooms and go, "Mom, you're just yelling."
So, okay, to answer the same question, I have a good relationship with karaoke now, but it needed some repair. So when I was a teacher, and I've always kind of enjoyed karaoke. My perspective on it is like, you don't have to be a good singer. You just have to have passion. That's the point. Okay. It's not about showing off to see who's the best singer. Although my very talented friends, we always end up showing off about who's the best singer. That's a different thing. So I do enjoy karaoke in general. But my relationship with karaoke became slightly toxic when I was a teacher because we used to have like party days where the kids would get rewarded for being quote unquote good. And they got to sing karaoke in the auditorium with our microphones and our lights and stuff, which sounds cool until you remember that middle schoolers don't always have the best taste in music, and sometimes they want to troll you. So the number of times that I heard them sing like dumb Minecraft songs at the top of their lungs or like Rickroll Me was astronomical.
That's rad. One time in South Carolina, in Maggie Valley, that's North Carolina.
Yeah, I know where that is.
There's a bar there that we have been to many times, and there is, I can't think of his name right now, but he sounds just like Johnny Cash.
Okay.
And Jody and I paid him to do Crazy Train. He had never heard of Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh.
And I have a video of this old man, sounds like Johnny Cash singing Crazy Train.
Amazing.
You can tell he's never heard it before. And at the end of it, you can hear him go, "Thank God that's over."
That's amazing. Well, I do have great memories of karaoke because we had karaoke at our wedding reception.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was really fun. It was like simple to set up. My friends Carrie and Gus set up their karaoke machine for us at the wedding, and our friends like signed up beforehand if they wanted to sing. Some of my very talented singer friends sang beautifully and blew everybody away.
I love that.
And some of Sean's friends sang the Pokemon theme song, and it was equally delightful.
Are there words to the Pokemon theme song?
Gotta catch 'em all. Of course there's words.
I don't know. I didn't even know Minecraft had music, so I don't know.
The very best, like no one ever was. It's actually a fucking bop.
Okay,
listen to the Pokemon song.
That almost sounds like they stole it from The Greatest American Hero, but okay.
It's probably not the same melody. So anyway, that's our relationship to karaoke.
All right. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I was I think I talked about being live on TikTok last time.
Yeah.
This week, I was not live at all, but I did end up kind of starting a Discord with some of my friends from TikTok that are like authors and narrators.
I don't know what a Discord means.
See, I was going to ask if you did.
No.
Because you have a nerd gamer son, so I thought you might. But Discord is sort of like social media, but it's just like a chat room kind of with your friends.
Okay.
But anyway, that's been my relationship with technology this week. It's been like, oh my God, this friend group is like popping off and we have a logo and we're designing t-shirts and we're whatever, So when we get to talking about online friends, I have a lot to say.
Oh, me too. But I never
not
even
this week,
thought
but
of a logo for a friend group.
Yeah, it's funny. But in terms of my relationship to technology, I've been addicted to my phone this week because I just kind of want to participate in the conversation constantly.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. It's a good thing, but also my husband's like, Katie, can you please be present in the real world for like a second?
Yeah, I can relate to that too. Last night we reconfigured the outside sofa so that I can sit next to my husband, but I don't have to sit straight up because he's in the corner. So he's got so his legs are out. And
yeah, he's got the good seat.
Yeah. And when I'm out there by myself, I sit one seat over for my coffee in the mornings, but he doesn't want me there. It's too far away. He can't put his hand on my thigh. So we reconfigured.
That's his right.
It is. Yeah. So we reconfigured and we made it like more of a double lounge chair. I said something like, it's time to go in and watch Big Brother or something. And a few minutes later, he was like, all right, we can go in so Kitten can poke at her iPad. And I was like,
don't judge me.
So then I felt all self-conscious every time I tried to open my iPad.
Man.
Judging me. And his iPad was open too. He was playing. He has a game where he harvests marijuana plants. And he was
of course he does.
Over there doing that.
So since we come from two different generations, and we have very different relationships with technology ourselves, we thought it would be interesting to break down some general perceptions of the recent generations and their relationships to technology. Because generations are just interesting to us. And it's something we've kind of talked about a little bit in the previous season, but I'm excited to have a little more flexibility in our topics and really just dive in this time. Let's talk about some generations and a little bit of their
technology.
What they generally say each generation's relationship to technology is like. That's kind of... These are generalizations.
Through the years. So my parents are, and Katie's grandparents are of the silent generation, which is roughly 1928 to 1945. So they had radio and TV, then refrigerators. Like that was, they did have the introduction of telephones and very early computers, the ones that filled the whole room. They generally viewed technology as a luxury and only embraced it slightly.
Yeah, gradually. My perception of this generation's relationship to technology comes from my grandparents. My grandmother is 97 now. She was born in 1927.
Okay.
She can text. Kinda.
Okay. All right. Well, good for her.
She has my old iPhone, and she wears it around her neck constantly.
Oh.
So that if she were to fall, she can use that. Right. She can operate her TV just enough to find Gunsmoke.
Okay. With a remote control?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She can find it on streaming. Like I think she has Netflix, and she can watch that. Yeah. She struggles with it.
Okay.
Like she got scammed by the car warranty people that call you. And it breaks my heart, that kind of stuff. Like that they just want to prey on old people.
Yes.
I think that's fucked. My grandpa was obsessed with always having the latest technology. So even though he was of this silent generation, he started his own business. Good for him. But when he started making money, he was like, oh, we got to have the top of the line, is what he always would say. It's got to be top of the line. So he would get a huge TV. He would get the Jaguar with the CD player because it was top of the line, whatever. Like, he was just showing off.
My husband is he loves technology, and he always wants the newest phone and the newest TV and the newest everything.
So what was your parents' relationship to technology?
So my dad hated it. Mm-hmm. I remember when we got our first microwave, and it was on a cart. And you had to like wheel it into the anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So my dad hated it mostly more recently, like when I was young and things were coming out, because things came out. A lot of what we have now in technology, like in the home, started happening in my youth. We got call waiting, we got cable TV, we got the microwave oven, we got all of those things when I was young. And my dad was okay with those things. But later in life, towards, before the end of his life, with computers and email and all of this stuff, he would get very, very frustrated with trying to figure things out. My mother... Yeah. Now that my dad is gone, especially, she will call me to help her navigate Facebook or navigate Etsy or, Ivy, I don't know what to do. And she gets so upset. And I can try to fix things for her. But I remember asking her to give me her login information for something. And she was like, can I do that?
What?
Yeah. And I was like, well, first of all, I created your Facebook account myself and gave you the password.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that to a certain extent. As we get down to the bottom of this outline, the more that I experience technology rapidly changing in my life, the more that I want to just be like, no, fuck
Me
it.
too.
Give me a paper book and nothing else.
Like every once in a while, I get fearful, like with the whole AI thing. Yeah. I get fearful of the next wave of technology.
Yeah, it's a whole episode. AI is going to be a whole episode, listeners. Don't worry. We have so much to say about that. But right now we're in the general. Yeah. General. Yeah. Oh my God. The baby boomers. All right. So generally considered the generation born between 1946 and 1964. This is my parents' generation. And so I've put a meme here that is the Facebook Boomer Starter Pack. And it includes a doofy-looking minion with the comment, "Bwah ha ha ha. Hey, Katie, nice car photos. George passed away yesterday. Could you send me your chicken stir-fry recipe?" And it's like, just one comment.
My mother was putting LOL at the end of every text message she sent because she thought it meant lots of love. And so, oh, my sister has breast cancer, or my other,
oh God.
Yeah. LOL. That happened. I don't remember if it was the cancer or if it was but one of the things that happened in my family, she literally sent a group text. It was bad news, LOL.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, my mom has just figured out how to use Bitmojis or whatever those are, so she'll put those in text messages a lot, and I'm like,
hilarious.
Okay.
My mom uses emojis, but that's as far as she'll go.
So the general info about what they say this generation's relationship with technology is that they witnessed the advent of personal computers and the internet, which they did. Mm-hmm. They adapted to technology in the workspace, leading to significant changes in communication and business practices. And they're known for their pragmatic approach to technology, often valuing face-to-face interactions, which I don't disagree with at all.
No.
But I will say that in my experience, working with boomers, this is not my parents specifically, but just a lot of them are oblivious. Just oblivious. And like the way that they've taken over Facebook, I don't go on Facebook anymore because it's all just boomerisms. Like it's as far as the eye can see. I just don't, it drives me crazy. I can't. I hate the fucking Minions.
Oh my God, my
Minions.
husband loves the Minions. You didn't finish your description of the Boomer starter pack because I interrupted you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So we've got the Minion that says, "Hey, Katie, nice car photos." There's another comment that says, "Wow, very nice comment. I will really like to be your friend. Please add me." No punctuation or capitalization whatsoever. There's another one that says, "Nice to see I'm not the only one texting in caps. I'm not yelling, just can't see. LOL, have a good day." Here's my question for you, because your parents were not boomers, but mine are.
No, but they were kind of close because they were 43.
Yeah, right. When they had you when they were...
No,
they were born in
1943.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, so what do you think the preconceptions about boomers and technology are, Ivy?
To me, boomers are synonymous, even though they're not really, with what is known in the world as Karens. Mm-hmm. To me, they're grumpy. They're get off my lawn, and they don't want to deal with your stupid cell phones or any of that stuff. I don't know. My former bad boss was a boomer, 1959. My current excellent boss is a boomer, and he can use technology, but chooses to have me do the things that he doesn't feel like doing. She refused to do any of it. So that's my experience with boomers. To me, the boomers just have a bad rep, and probably deservedly so.
At least some of them.
Oh, some of all of us.
Yeah, some of all of us.
Yeah.
There's the spectrum. But yeah, I'll tell you about my parents. So my dad was pretty great with technology. He managed a computer store. We always had really nice computers growing up because he would like get a discount from the store.
Sure.
And I remember when we got, our first internet connectable computer and, having that happen in the house. But the thing was, I was not allowed video games because they didn't like video games. They thought that would rot your brain. Why would you buy that when you have a fancy computer for learning?
You didn't have video games.
I didn't have video games. I wasn't allowed to have video games until one point. I was 11 years old. I finally got a Sega Game Gear for Christmas. And it came with one game, and my dad would not buy me another game for it until I beat the game that came with it.
Okay.
Which was The Lion King.
Okay.
And that game is widely known for being one of the most difficult games ever made.
I didn't even know that was a game.
And so, yeah, I got extremely frustrated with it. And I was like, oh my God, I suck. I can't finish this. Like, why'd you guys even buy me this thing if you're never going to let me play a different game? And so I had like bad vibes with video games for a while.
What about like arcades?
No. Wasn't interested.
Was that a thing when you were little?
It was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Okay.
My parents didn't want me to play video games. And so I didn't. If I went to an arcade, it was like because there was also a bowling alley.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What
rink.
About like you go to Pizza Hut and there's a Miss Pac-Man, or
I didn't waste my quarters because I sucked at it.
Okay, because at the front of a lot of restaurants, there was like
Pizza Hut.
There was like a video game.
But so I didn't have that connection with my peers because they would all like, oh yeah, I can play Super Mario just from memory, like with my eyes shut, I can beat this level, and I'm like, I can't even jump across the one thing.
The technology of actual like games at arcade games just occurred to me as we're having this conversation, and that's huge in my generation.
Yeah, it is. Yes. I read this when I was looking it up because I was like, I know that I've read articles about this game being notoriously difficult. And when I looked it up today, there is a theory that Disney did this on purpose, made the game as difficult as they could on purpose to encourage kids to buy the games instead of renting it, which is fucking evil, if you ask me.
Who rents video games? Is that a thing?
Everybody rented video games.
At like Blockbuster, you could also rent video games?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Because, if you're a really good gamer, you could finish the game in a weekend and not pay the however much it cost back then for the full game. So Disney was like, no, we're going to make it really hard so that the kids can't finish it in a weekend and they have to buy the game. Isn't that mean?
Well, the whole concept of finishing a game is mean. Like, you didn't finish Frogger, you just played it whenever the fuck you wanted to.
That's true. Well, this was a story-based thing, and I loved The Lion King. But anyway.
Okay.
So let me talk about my mom.
Yeah.
All right. She is like just okay with technology. She thinks she's amazing, but my mom is like Peggy Hill. Like, she thinks she's amazing at everything. But I have still had to explain to my mom what cloud storage is.
Okay.
Several times.
Yeah. Oh, I won't even try.
I've had to be like, Mom, no, it is not just your files floating around in the air. Like,
They're in
they
heaven.
call it cloud storage, but there really is just a building. Like, it still physically exists. And every time that she tries to open a PDF or convert a PDF or something, she has to on a sticky note, like, open, file, export. Like, she needs to write it down.
Okay, well, that's the same
remember.
as was. It had to be written down on a sticky note in the cloud.
The other thing, my concern, though, is that she has no idea when a news story is obviously fake. And she's like, no, you watch CNN too much. And I'm like, I don't have cable. I do not watch CNN, so I don't know where you're getting that.
Yeah,
But
they are the believers of the fake news, aren't they?
She has, they really are.
And the believers of the fake
scary.
AI pictures.
Yep. She has sent me things before that I'm like, Mom, that's definitely fake news. That's definitely AI. And she has there is no way she can tell. Like, she is totally duped by that stuff.
They're duped by the emails that say they're coming from, your best friend or whatever. And the boss that I have that I just schedule appointments for, a couple months ago, he got an email from Comcast telling him, and I'm saying Comcast with air quotes, telling him that his email address is going to be closed if he doesn't do this. This motherfucker clicked the link.
No.
He clicked the link. All of his patients are texting me and calling me all day long that he is asking them for money.
Oh, shit.
It sent an email from his email to every contact he had. And one of those people clicked the link. Like it.
Shit.
Yeah. And I said, I went upstairs and I showed him, I said, look, Comcast, first of all, is never going to close your email account. Right. Second of all, their email address is never going to be garbledygook@garbledygook.org. Ever.
See, my mom, to her credit, does not fall for that shit. Because she worked at a bank where she dealt with identity fraud and stuff.
Okay, good.
And so that's definitely, she is on to that. I also put a little meme here because, we get to make fun of the boomers. I'm sorry.
Oh,
There's
hell
just
yeah.
so
They're
much to make fun.
hilarious.
So this is SpongeBob with a funnel in his mouth, laying down on the ground, and Patrick walking in, shoving a giant pumpkin into the funnel, and it says, obviously fake news. And then Patrick is labeled websites with typos in the name.
And SpongeBob is labeled boomers.
SpongeBob is the boomers.
We can now talk about the best generation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Gen Xers, like me.
Uh-huh.
Roughly 1965 to 1979-ish. I was born in 1971. We experienced the transition from analog to digital technology, including the rise of video games and personal computers. Often seen as the bridge between analog and digital because we are comfortable with both traditional and modern technologies. I don't know what a traditional technology is, but I can say that I do agree. I also don't really know what analog is.
Yeah, so the difference between digital and analog. All right, so analog is like a cassette tape.
Okay.
Digital is an MP3.
Okay. And yeah, I know
Yep.
I know how to work all of those.
Yep.
And I built a giant collection of cassette tapes for free using, sending a penny to Columbia House. And I saw a meme today that was I think it was actually a ICE agent, but they changed the back of his jacket from Ice to Columbia House, knocking on the door of somebody's house because we all owe them thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. I remember my dad paid Columbia House for me once.
Oh.
I guess he intercepted the letter in the mail and he was like, you're doing what? And I'm like, they're all for a penny. And he was like, no, you're signing an agreement when you send them that penny, because you literally taped the penny to like a postcard that you pulled out of the back of a magazine, and you checked all the different, or you wrote in the names of all the different CDs. Well, it started with cassette tapes for me.
Right.
Actually, albums. I think we got the Statler Brothers and Mickey Mouse Disco in albums. And then there was cassette tapes because, I went through albums, cassette tapes, and then we got CDs. It was like all these different, you had to burn your tapes onto CDs, and then you had to upload your CDs onto your computer.
Yep.
Maybe that's why we all listen to podcasts now and gave up on music altogether.
Yeah.
Not exactly. But yeah, I think it's a little accurate. My husband and I do not have similar relationships to technology. He gets it far easier than I do. He kind of is self-taught, starting with, when the kids were little, I have a picture of them both sitting in his lap in this giant computer monitor that went, you had to have like the 8-foot desk so that the computer monitor would fit all the way to the wall, and teaching them how to play games. And then I remember when he created our first email addresses, you've got mail. And yeah. But as far as like my youth and technology happening, I remember, like I said earlier, I remember cable TV. And then MTV came along, and it was like half a day on MTV, and all the moms were up in arms. It's going to ruin our children. And call waiting on the call waiting is, my mom burned our house down when I was a kid, and my dad knew something was wrong because we had just gotten call waiting. It had just been like created as a thing, and we had just gotten it. And so when the phone was busy, my dad was like, hey, the phone shouldn't be busy anymore. What's wrong? Well, his wife burned down the house.
Holy shit.
And I had a word processor in college.
I couldn't even pick one of those out of a lineup. I
still have it. It's in the attic. It's basically it's an electric typewriter with a handle. Then you can carry it around with you, and then it'll print your. But yeah, that's what I used in college. I used the word processor. Wow. It was like top of the line.
Yeah.
And we had to literally get up to change the channel on the TV. Before there was cable, we only had the 4 channels. And then later on, if you had to go pee or get a snack, you did that during a commercial. And you had to be on time to watch your show, because up until the VCR, you couldn't even record anything.
So my question here is, what do you think the major difference between your relationship with technology and mine is? Or my generation?
Well, I think millennials in general, because, you're an older millennial.
Right.
So when cell phones came out and stuff, my kids were probably 5 and 6 when they were mainstream, because a lot of things were around since way before, but the regular Joe couldn't afford them.
Right. My grandpa spent a bundle on some of that shit.
I'm sure he did. A lot of people did.
And this is something I wanted to bring up, because when I was a kid, and especially when I was in like middle school and early high school, my generation had nostalgia for cool stuff from the 70s.
Yeah.
That was part of your generation. But like, my parents were boomers. So it was like the Gen X, the 70s stuff, we kind of skipped.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So
Well, I was a child in the 70s. So
Yeah.
so the 80s would be more of the nostalgia that your
Okay.
generation might have from mine.
Right.
Because the 70s stuff we had nostalgia for, like the 60s and 70s, the Flower Children and that kind of stuff. And I had an obsession with like James Dean and Marilyn Monroe.
Okay. So I guess that makes sense. Like the stuff of your cool older siblings is interesting to you.
Right. But I think in general, because there were no cell phones when I was in high school, especially no cell phones that had cameras on them. And I don't know when that happened, if that was in your youth or not.
I had a camera on my first cell phone when I was in high school.
Part of me wishes that I did, and the other part of me is so grateful that I didn't.
That you didn't have a cell phone?
That other people didn't. Yeah. There's not a lot of evidence of our shenanigans because there wasn't, there just wasn't. And you're not going to go and take pictures of your 14-year-old self getting drunk in a field smoking Marlboros and take them and have them developed.
All right, so millennials are the digital pioneers who adapted to technology's rapid evolution. Millennials, by contrast, tend to prefer established platforms like Facebook, use technology for convenience, and often exhibit a more conflicted relationship with it, sometimes seeking live human connection. So I relate to that conflicted relationship. That's where I'm at. I hate Facebook with a burning purple passion. I fucking hate it. The reason is because I found out I was being cheated on via Facebook.
Oh.
I found out that my fiance was cheating on me.
That was not Facebook's
via Facebook.
fault.
Yes, it fucking was.
Facebook made him do it.
I feel like my age group in general is really adaptable and we integrate new tech pretty well. But there's definitely significant nostalgia for like older technology. My husband loves vinyl records. Both of us.
There was like a trend of your generation using manual typewriters.
Yeah, there is something about manual typewriters. The sound is very pleasing.
Yeah.
And so I seen a trend of like people getting Bluetooth keyboards that have like an 80s style key to them that it sounds like those old computers, I love stuff like that. I love Polaroids. I love analog film. I learned to use film cameras and stuff instead of digital. And I also learned to use digital cameras, but I preferred some of that because it just had a little bit more, I don't even know how to describe it. I think it might be nostalgia for like something that I missed.
Yeah.
The vinyl records I love as well, but it's not as convenient as it is to say, Alexa, play whatever. We've also noticed that streaming services are kind of becoming less appealing to us because they just keep jacking the price up. If it's a show that like I'm going to want to watch as a comfort show or whatever, I might as well just buy the Blu-ray of it and just have it, as opposed to paying that much to stream it,
But you
and not own it.
Can you not? You can buy the version. You can rent or buy usually on the apps.
Some of the apps you can.
Okay.
Like on Amazon Prime or whatever, or Apple's, I think you can.
Yeah.
Right. But for instance, I bought all of the Twilight movies on a Blu-ray because it was cheaper to buy one Blu-ray with all 5 movies than it was to pay for 1 month of whatever fucking streaming service they're on now. I also remember the old internet and kind of miss the old internet sometimes.
In what way? What do
you know what I mean? Like, I just miss sites that were like MySpace.
I loved MySpace.
Isn't a thing anymore. I loved MySpace. I loved chat rooms. I loved, like, Icon Has Cheeseburger, I put on the list. Original meme humor comes from millennials.
Memes. I hated memes for years.
Really? Yeah. I mean, that's how we express ourselves.
No, I hated it.
That's
there was a trend of, thank God he went and smacked Chris Rock's face, so it'll never happen again. But Will Smith.
Yeah.
There was all these memes that had a picture of Will Smith, and it was always, the uplifting memes were pictures of Will Smith, and I was so sick of his face. Like it was everywhere. It was like he was the
Will
king of
Smith is
nice.
so hot, though.
He-
Oh my gosh.
Hot?
Yes. Will Smith is hot, Ivy.
I don't find him hot.
Well, that's fine. We don't have to fight over him.
Yeah, you can have him. It's
fine.
You can have him.
He's in an open relationship, so.
Well, from her end, yeah.
Yeah. He's on my hall pass list.
Really?
But yeah,
Wow.
it's a short list, but still.
He's just the Fresh Prince to me, and he's so goofy, and I can't ever see him as
that's
not
fair.
goofy.
I do feel like I spend way too much time looking at screens.
Me too.
Like, this is a problem I've noticed.
Me too.
But I also have very little escape. Like, I work looking at a screen all day,
too.
and then I watch TV to unwind, so I'm just still looking at a screen. And sometimes when I'm watching TV, I'm also looking at my phone.
Yeah,
so
I've
it's
got
like,
screen and screen every night.
I try not to do that. You know, I really try to just, if I'm going to pick up my phone, I do it during a commercial. And I try not to double screen, but it's difficult because our attention span is so fucked now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I have a really hard time sitting still.
Yeah.
Really hard time.
So I've had to intentionally pick up like non-screen hobbies like embroidery. The other day I said to Sean, I never thought I'd have to name all of my lamps because we had to name all of our lamps in our house so that Alexa can turn them on and off.
Oh.
So we have Sean lamp, we have Katie lamp, we have couch lamp, we have porch light. All of the lamps have names. And I was like, that's not a thing I ever thought I was going to have to do.
Because you have a smart house.
Yeah. We have a semi-smart house. I don't have a smart fridge or any other appliances, but we do have Alexa and the light bulbs.
Yeah, we don't have
You
the
know.
light bulbs, but we do on our back
Yeah.
porch. The back porch light bulbs are
Yeah.
on Alexa. So my oldest is a young millennial, right? Because he's the last year of millennials. And my youngest is the first year of Gen Z.
Yes.
And my oldest, as you pointed out, is a nerd who
I mean that in the best way.
no, so does
I
he.
claim that term.
He told me
Okay.
years ago that nerds are the cool kids now. They're not even the,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
We're running the show. Okay.
but he started playing RuneScape
Uh-huh.
on
All right.
on his first computer, and one time somebody told him he had good manners, and I took credit, and he said, "Mom, you didn't teach me to be a gentleman. RuneScape did," and I was like, that
Really?
fucking RuneScape. He still plays RuneScape. Like, he'll be in the living room with his dad watching their children's program and professional wrestling, and he's got his laptop with him and he's RuneScaping. They both got cell phones, but my younger son got a cell phone first because he was spending a lot of time at the farm with John and Dallas. And so he needed a phone, and he was like 7, and I got him a phone, and people were like, "Oh, you got your 7-year-old a phone?" And I was like, "You're goddamn right I got my 7-year-old a phone because he's not with me, and if he needs to contact me, he can." You know, one of the things I wanted to point out about your generation is email and school stuff. Because when I was a kid, there was no such thing as email. If the teacher wanted to say something to your mom, you got a note literally pinned to your shirt.
Yeah.
And if your mom had to send something back to the school, it went with you in your lunchbox or whatever. Like, my mom never came to my school. My mom didn't know my grades until I got a paper report card that I had to bring home and physically hand to my mother. When did that happen for you?
It never did. I mean, email was a thing, but like it was not the primary source of communication between my teachers and my parents. They would call.
Would they
They
call?
would call if some.
Okay.
But I never had that happen because I was like a really well-behaved, nerdy kid.
But
you know,
there's
I didn't get in trouble
field
at school.
trips. There's
Yeah,
like
they would call.
Like I had, for my kids, I had Grade Speed, I think it was called. I could log in and
Yep.
see
They still have that.
exactly how they were doing.
Yeah. As a teacher, that happened when I was teaching. So like 2005 was when I started teaching, or 2006 in January.
Okay.
And that was already a thing. Like we had communication with parents via email. We had grade speed where they could check the grades online and everything. So they were always aware of what was going on. And I think that's fabulous.
And you found out
that was a huge improvement.
I loved it. I did. I loved it. But I feel like technology is part of the problem with the helicopter parents, which I definitely was.
Yes.
Because we can have our hands all in our kids' business from start to finish. The whole technology thing that we're talking about, that's one thing that I don't know. You are an older millennial, so when you did get a cell phone, when you did have access to computers, what were parental controls like?
Oh my God. So,
because I didn't even know they existed. My kids could have been doing anything. Like did not. It didn't occur to me. It did not occur to me to be concerned about what they were doing on the internet because it was new to me too. Yeah.
So there probably should have been some parental controls on the internet when I was growing up.
100%.
Because, but again, it was like they didn't realize how, much of a danger it could be. Yeah. They did have parental controls on certain channels on TV. Like I wasn't allowed to watch MTV until I was a certain age, which fair. And I wasn't allowed to watch certain other things, HBO and shit like that, which fair. But it pissed me off so much as a teen that I figured out the code and hacked it and got in.
See, you said fair to the MTV thing. I don't think there was ever anything wrong with MTV. I watched it from the very day it was.
Well, if you're a little kid, you probably shouldn't be watching MTV Spring Break.
There also was no MTV Spring Break. There was, what there was on.
There you go.
What there was when I was a kid
it was
on
just
MTV.
Videos.
It was music videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
in that case,
but that didn't
less
occur.
Of a
that
problem.
didn't occur to me.
Yeah. But on the internet, I got into some shit I probably shouldn't have gotten into, like those chat rooms and stuff. I don't know who the fuck I was talking to.
Oh my God.
I still don't know.
Yeah, just thinking about the things that I didn't know to protect my kids from.
Exactly.
I'm just so glad that it wasn't as prevalent then as it became when they were older.
Yeah.
And then when I even became like alerted to the fact that I should be checking their phones, they were so, what do you mean looking at my phone? Like they were already it was too far gone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we didn't really get internet. We had internet when I was in like middle school, I think. But
not on your phone.
I wasn't, not on my phone, no. So by the time that I had a smartphone, like I had graduated college, so wasn't their damn business anyway.
Yeah, and I guess my kids, their phones wouldn't have been the issue back then. It would have been their computers, which for the longest time we had one household computer. Like that. I think most houses in the beginning had one household computer.
Mm-hmm. Well, in order to get on the internet in my house growing up, you had to listen to the modem scream at you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so it would absolutely wake everyone up if you tried to get on the internet in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't do that because I was like, well, I'm in trouble for waking mom up.
Yeah, and then you couldn't really be on the computer for too long because then you're using the phone line.
Yeah,
exactly. You can't have both on.
Gen Z.
Yeah, we're down Gen Z.
All right. So these were my students for the most part. So I have, even though I'm not a parent, I have spent a lot of time with Gen Z. Yeah. So they say it's between 1997 and 2012. If you were born between those years, then you're a Gen Z, according to Google, probably, because Ivy found this.
So my youngest was born in 1997 in July. The main difference is that Gen Z are digital natives who have never known a world without smartphones or the internet. Now, my son, 97, did know a world without smartphones and the internet. But for the most part, I think that's probably true because when you're 3, who cares if there's smartphone or internet? This leads Gen Z to prioritize interactive platforms like TikTok and expect hyper-personalization and seamless tech integrations in all aspects of life.
Yeah, and I think that that's pretty accurate.
I think so, too.
Because in my experience teaching Gen Z, technology is like their first language. They understand technology better than they understand how to speak to one another.
Yeah.
these people, these kids were in no way threatened by developing tech. They didn't really find AI terrifying like I do. They found it amusing. And they were like, cool, great. Yeah, let's use the technology immediately and not think about the consequences for any reason. And we were encouraged to integrate technology. So, using certain apps and things like that in the classroom. And whatever way we could integrate technology was good because that would keep the kids' attention better, right? But it just didn't. Like, if they had their phone out to supposedly use an app or check their email or do a Google Doc or something, like, you can guarantee at least 2/3 of them are playing a game and pretending to use a Google Doc, know?
Yeah.
So they switched to a policy of your phone lives basically in your backpack or in your locker, and you can only go get it if your teacher wants you to. And it was like they had strikes of if you get your phone taken away a certain number of times, then you have to go get it picked up in the office. But usually if I had to take a kid's phone, I would just give it to him at the end of the day. And the kid would never, ever forget to come get it.
Do you think that generation, especially the younger ones, do you think that they sort of feel like they don't need school because they have everything they need to know at their fingertips? Was there any attitude like that?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've seen memes on the internet about how, everybody was all like, oh, you need algebra, but now we all have calculators in our back pockets.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There was a little bit of that attitude, but I didn't see it that much because I taught theater, which is very much like,
oh yeah, you can't cheat at that.
In person, face to face. Yeah, you can't really cheat at that much. Like, if they were using their phones in my class, it was because they wanted to record a voice memo of themselves reading lines so that they could listen to it and remember. There was a few things like that we did. But for the most part, and then they got Chromebooks. All the kids got Chromebooks. And so that was just, we used Chromebooks all the time for everything whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that was great because the school owned the Chromebook.
Right.
You could not, it was not yours.
Yeah.
You could take it home, but they were able to monitor everything that the kids did on the Chromebooks.
Okay.
And, if they got flagged for going on a site where they weren't supposed to, it would basically send an email to the central office to be like, this kid's looking at something they're not supposed to. And then we also had lots of ways as teachers to monitor that. Like, I had a program where I could see every kid in my class what was on their Chromebook screen.
Oh.
So I could see who was on task. They hated it when you took their phones.
Oh, I know.
And they all that they wanted was to play video games on their Chromebooks, and they would find all kinds of ways to get around the sites that we blocked and stuff to watch crap on YouTube.
Because they knew more about the technology than their teachers.
Yeah. I have one student that hacked their Chromebook and got in huge trouble about it. Hacked their school Chromebook and taught a bunch of other kids how to hack their school Chromebooks, and it was a problem.
Wow.
Yeah. But I love Gen Z. I do. I think that they're so much smarter than they're given credit for. They have a great sense of humor. They're fun. I had a blast hanging out with those kids. And middle schoolers are kind of like a weird vibe.
Middle school is the worst time of life.
Yeah. It's not the best time of your life, but I had fun with those kids.
I'm sure you did.
And
I don't have any problem with. I don't have any problem with Gen Z. I mean, like I said, my kid's a Gen Z. I got no problem.
Yeah.
All of his friends are my children. I love all of them. I love all the peoples.
Yeah, I love most of the peoples. All right, so the next one is Gen Alpha.
Up and comers.
The up and comers.
Yeah.
They say from 2013 to 2024 is Gen Alpha. So these kids are 12 years old right now.
I love that you called them the honey badger generation.
That is not a me thing. That is a thing that is their, little
Is it because the honey badger don't give a damn?
Yep. Honey badger don't give a shit.
Honey badger don't give a shit. I love that.
And he will fight.
That was
your
my
ass.
favorite thing the internet ever produced for a while was the honey badger
That's what I mean. That's
video.
the old internet. That's, yeah. Look at that nasty snake.
I loved it. Oh my God.
I know. I loved it so much. It was everything. Everything. He's a sleepy fuck.
I'm going to watch it tonight.
currently the youngest generation growing up in a fully digital world with tablets and smart devices as the norm. These are the ones that my Gen Z students used to call sticky iPad kids.
My granddaughter,
She's a sticky iPad kid.
I'm the worst. She gets so mad at me because everyone else will let her have a tablet while she's eating except for Kitty. It's tempting because like at her house, when I do sleepovers with her, there's no rules. She's, she can sit there and eat her hot dogs and spaghetti with her iPad. But at my kitchen table, no, you're not having it.
Well, that's fair. This also says that Gen Alpha is expected to be highly tech savvy with early exposure to AI and interactive technologies. And their upbringing is shaped by the pandemic and the increasing integration of technology in education and play. That's the thing that kind of concerns me, is the way that pandemic affected Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Yes.
Like, we have no data on exactly how that is going to go long term.
Because we don't know.
It was their formative years. So Gen Alpha, those kids, let's see.
Well, my granddaughter is
2013.
a pandemic baby.
But these 2013, so they would have been in second grade when the pandemic happened, the oldest of Gen Alpha. And I just think about the kids who started kindergarten in 2020,
Yeah.
What was that like? Because there's nothing more terrifying that I can imagine than the first time I have to go to school and leave my parents. It's the pandemic.
During 2020, even 21 and 22, I think being in school at those times would have been difficult.
Yeah. Well, and they also, going back to technology, those 5-year-olds had to sometimes go to kindergarten virtually over Zoom.
That doesn't even make sense to me.
Oh, it was absurd. It was absurd. Can you imagine being a kindergarten teacher with 15 to 25-year-olds who have never been to school before, and you have to teach them how to do school with a computer, and you're not even in the same room as them?
Yeah, but also
and nobody's trained
just
you?
sing ABCs with your kid at home. Like, why does that even need to be a thing?
I know. There's got to be long-term effects for that. We just don't know what they are yet.
Right.
Because those kids are, at most, 12 years old now. And I don't teach anymore, but yeah. If you are a teacher and you're listening and you teach Gen Alpha, come tell me what you think. If you're a parent and you have a kid who's Gen Alpha, come tell me what you think. Because their relationship to technology is very interesting to me.
Algorithms.
So.
That's not something that ever crossed my radar when I was young.
Oh, I got a new sticker that goes on my water bottle that says disobey the algorithm.
Yeah, algorithm. There's a lot of words that never, from the beginning, my generation has lived through both. No technology, basically, and then all of a sudden an onslaught of, we got all the technology, and all the divorces happened when I was in junior high school.
Yeah.
Like that's, technology and divorces were things that were new to my generation.
I have the conflicted relationship with technology. I definitely love certain aspects of it, find it very convenient. I love my internet, I love my cell phone, I love my streaming and all of that. But also I think that it's very important to be able to get along without it.
I still, at work, at the gym, we log our clients paper and pen. I have a binder with each client has a sheet. I log them on there. I have thought about for 20 years transforming it onto my computer. Have I? No. I mean, those are the only things that I have on paper. Everything else is in document form. But
the only thing we write down is grocery lists. Everything else is digital for us.
See, I'm the opposite. My grocery list is on Kroger.com, and
really?
I print it from Kroger.com, and it sorts it by the aisle.
That's funny.
So
I'm not going to tell my husband that exists.
I love it.
Yes, I'm an older millennial. Most of my friends are a few years younger than me because I met them all doing community theater, and you just meet who you meet doing that. They are all millennials too, but they're a couple years younger than me, and they are so addicted to their phones. Like, they will drive to come see each other across town and then sit on their phone the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not down
And
with that.
I've called them out on that, and I think that they've gotten better. But
I'll leave my phone
that's
in
a
my
thing we
purse,
need to be aware of.
or if I don't have it in my purse, it is face down on the table, only in case somebody, one of my kids or something needs me. For the most part, I'm not going to say I'm not addicted to having a screen, because I do sit and poke at Candy Crush on my iPad.
Oh no, Candy Crush!
Yeah, I still play.
You know that's like the most addictive game ever made.
So that, and there's another one that is just popping bubbles. I'm just popping bubbles.
Yeah.
And it's just because I'm doing something with my hands. Like, I'm not sitting still. I don't like to sit still.
Yeah.
When we go like on the bike somewhere in nature that's beautiful or whatever, I want to take pictures. I take pictures with my phone. I'm not like looking at it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
So I had a conversation with my friend Becca a few months ago. Like, I really need a technology detox. Like, I need to do a social media detox and just not do it for a month. And then my TikTok blew up.
Yeah.
And I had to stay active to like maintain that. And I was growing my business. So like, it really did benefit me to do that. But I was not able to.
TikTok is the worst though. Like,
it is one of the most addictive apps
I only look
ever.
at TikTok when I visit my mom, and it amazes me how quickly time goes by when you're watching videos. Half the time, I'll sit there and wonder to myself why I'm still watching something, but keep watching it. So let's talk about first, just a second, the evolution of phones, because I found it amusing when I was writing this initial paragraph about how in my day there was no cable TV until the 80s. Answering machines, but until answering machines, the phone just rang and rang and rang and rang until 1984, when they became real popular in homes. And then there was the cordless phone. After the phone with the really long cord, you had your cordless phone, which was invented in the 1960s, but again, too expensive for regular households until the 1980s. Then there was the second line phone, or the second line in the house. Like, you would have the kids' phone and the adult's phone. And then call waiting. Like I told you, my mom burned the house down and my dad knew it because the phone was busy. And then when I typed this out, I typed out collect calls. Do you remember collect calls and pagers?
Yeah.
Spell check.
We add a baby, eats a boy.
Spell check doesn't even know what a collect call is, and it changed it to collected calls.
Yeah, I saw that. It was annoying me because there was a little red line.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
that's not
under it. It's correct. It's correct. Collect calls are, I think they still have them in prison. Like, when somebody else is paying for the call, And even when cell phones were new, remember roaming? How much it fucking cost if you wanted to call somebody? And then all of a sudden you can just call anywhere, anytime. People move here and they keep their area code from wherever they lived. It's
thank God.
The evolution of phones.
Roaming sucked.
Right? The evolution of
and
our
having
phones
to have minutes on your phone.
Yeah.
How many minutes
do you have?
Were on your cell phone plan?
You went over
Fuck
your
that.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that those are the evolution of the telephone is something that I appreciate.
So, okay, you've got a cute little meme here. I'll let you read it.
Oh, yeah. Remember when we used to do prank calls growing up, and now all these spam calls are karma getting us back.
Yeah.
And I also believe that the whole Karen situation came about because of automated phone services, because I hate automation. When I call a phone number, I want a human being to answer the phone. I don't want to press 1. I don't want to press 6. I don't want none of that.
But Ivy,
none of that.
Those people, I'm that person. I'm the one that answers the phone and tells you to press 1 for sales and press 2 for accounting and press 3 for our service directory.
You should just read more books, because I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And I believe with all of my heart that it's the reason, because I have never been angrier than when I'm trying to get to a person from an automated phone system. It's fine.
Oh, I feel
it's
it.
fine when I
feel
call
that.
the mechanic and I have to press 3 to get to my service guy. I don't care about that. It's when it keeps going on and on and on and on.
When you call your insurance company, that is not.
And and it's like you can't ever, the ones that don't have an option for you, like that, none of these are the option that I'm calling for. What do I do now? Well, I'll tell you what you do now. You hit every button till you get to a person, and then you take a deep breath because it's not that person's fault.
Exactly. Exactly. I've definitely felt that way being stuck on the phone before. But also, I am the person who says those things to you while you're on
aspire
hold.
to be, okay? It's just I just want it to be less. Like, sure.
Most of these,
be less.
The phone jobs that I do, most of them are like, I'm there telling you, we're closed because it's Labor Day. Our hours are this, and this.
That's fine with me.
You know, whatever. Or here's the voicemail box for Ivy Hensley. Please press 1 to leave a message.
And answering machine messages of back in the day when we used to, rehearse and record our answering machine messages.
Right.
That's different. I'm talking about the automation that never ends because the bot thinks they can help you with your situation.
Yeah. So here's what I'm hearing. If it's a person who's recorded it, it's fine. If it's a bot, then they are the ones that piss you off.
And all of
it's the
my
robots.
entire
Fuck the robots.
generation and every Karen out there, I get it. That's why you are the way you are. It's because of all the different buttons they're not even buttons, all the different taps you have to do when you're trying to just find out, I don't know, what time your movie is. I don't know, but it's anytime I get stuck on one of those.
Ivy, are you still calling movie phone?
I haven't seen a movie.
I agree, that's annoying. Every time I get frustrated with technology when I have to do like two-factor authentication, and Sean makes fun of me. I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much. Why should I have to go get my phone to log into something I'm trying to do on my computer?
You want me to tell you why? It's because there's bad people in the world. And because the whole class suffers.
That's the problem. Yes, exactly. And that pisses me off so much. It's time for the vocab word of the week. This week's vocab word is Luddite.
Luddite?
Luddite. Luddite.
Luddite.
Okay.
It is spelled Luddite. It is a noun. It means, well, the first definition is one of a group of early 19th century English workmen destroying labor-saving machinery as a protest, but it is broadly used to mean one who is opposed to technological change.
Oh.
So someone who dislikes technology and doesn't like to use it or opposes technology for whatever reason is a Luddite.
They're too cool
but
for
the
that.
history, well, it's for whatever reason they have, but it just, the word just describes that. I dated a guy one time who called himself a Luddite because he didn't have a smartphone or whatever, and I was like, really? It just makes you annoying to get a hold of?
Yeah,
So.
that's what I mean by too cool for that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But here's the history of it, which is kind of interesting. This is from Merriam-Webster.com. Long before your Luddite friend was waxing poetic about how blissful it is not to have a smartphone, Luddites were protesting the textile machinery that was slowly replacing them. It was toward the end of 1811 in the vicinity of Nottingham, England, when handicraftsmen formed organized bands and began to riot for the destruction of the new machinery. Their name is of uncertain origin, but it may be connected to a probably mythical person named Ned Ludd.
Okay, so
that's
Luddite.
where Luddite.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So this had to do with textile workers that were like, nuh-uh, these robots are going to destroy us.
Uh-huh.
So here we are. So, listeners, as we have been kind of brainstorming what this season is going to be about, if you heard something that sort of scratched a particular itch in your brain and you really want to hear us talk about that particular topic, please feel free to leave us a comment on wherever you're listening to our podcast. So please give us some input if there's something that you are just itching to hear about.
And also, if any of the topics that we touched on in this episode, if you have a story in relation to any of these things, or if any of these things you would like to expand on, please, we are always interested in your input.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Join us next time on Toxic Waste of Time when we talk about our relationships to our pets. This one is adorable. Not even gonna lie. Spoilers, it's cute.
It is cute. Also,
cute.
be sure to reach out to us at contact@toxicwasteoftime.com.
Yes, please share your episode ideas, your icebreaker ideas, your comments, your thoughts. We want to hear it all. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.